What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Clinic one time for the one time. Shout out to the LDBC, the YTBC. We working. Happy Turkey Day. Told you guys I was gonna fit another video in, and would have been done by now. Way done by now, but I got interrupted. And but happy Turkey Day, Thanksgiving to everybody in the States. According to Eddie Hearn, the Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua fight sounds about dead in the water as it can be. And they ready to move on. And then talk about Joseph Parker, see if he'll move off his 35%, or if they want to pay him 35%, which they offered him an 80-20 split versus Joshua, and Parker wasn't going for that. He said, I'll take 35 at the minimum. But Hearn said the Parker fight is more of a reality than the Wilder fight. And, Wilder had to blame himself for that. He's trying to make demands and negotiations, and I understand that he's a champion as well. But Anthony Joshua is seen as the champion, And you got to compromise to get what you want to be in the position that you want to be in. I said it about Triple G and Canelo, and like I said, I'm going to stand on that. You can't go in there demanding a 50-50 split with Anthony Joshua. You can't go in there demanding that the fight should happen in Vegas. You can't go in there demanding nothing. You can insinuate, you can, give your 2 cents on it, but at the end of the day, you do what Anthony Joshua wants to do if you really want that fight bad. You can't go in there demanding a 50-50 split. You haven't made more than $5 million in your career in one fight. You made that versus Povetkin, but the fight didn't even happen. So how can you come in here demanding a 50-50 split versus Anthony Joshua? Like, he going to take it. At the end of the day, you got to realize your position, the position that he is in. He can do no wrong in his fans' eyes. So if he skips over you, who cares? And you get so much hate in the United States, who cares? If the fight doesn't happen, nobody wants to see you beat Anthony Joshua. Pretty much around the world, but a select few. So how can you go in here, whatever he does is going to be fine. He's going to get glorified, praised for it. If he fights you, if he don't fight you, it's nothing going to happen. And now you gave him wiggle room, and him and Eddie Hearn wiggle room not to fight you, not bypassing you, because you demanding a 50-50 split. You have to compromise to get what you want in this boxing game sometimes, especially when you don't have the built-in fan base that Anthony Joshua has. And, Deontay Wilder has to figure that out. And if Joshua starves him out long enough, he'll come back to the table. But my fear is one of these guys is going to get beat pretty soon, because they're both very vulnerable in the ring. So it's going to be another fight that we ain't going to get while it's hot. We're going to get after it's all rewrapped or repacked or whatever you want to say. But Anthony Joshua is in the same class with Adonis Stevenson, Keith Thurman right now, Leo Santa Cruz, champions of that nature who don't want to fight the best. They content to where they are in their division and in their career, and they happy with it. They're not trying to take any risks to move on up in the fans' eyes because they're happy where they at. In Anthony Joshua's case, absolutely, he's happy. You making $20 million fighting Carlos Takam or Puev or who cares? He's making big money. So why would he change his approach? Why? Why would he go out his way to take less money, take less percentage to fight Deontay Wilder? It's not going to happen. But Eddie Hearn says it's more of a possibility of the Parker fight happening. And Parker better bust a move right now, because Povetkin is about to probably beat the hell out of Christian Hammer and be his mandatory. And, that cheater probably will beat Joseph Parker. And they ain't probably going to do no random drug test neither. Because Joseph Parker missed the random drug test with VADA. And he ain't in good standings with them as well. But, he need to take that, Anthony Joshua fight, right now, because he's going to make more money getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua than getting knocked out by the cheater Alexander Povetkin. So he better understand that right now. But, it sounds like, if that fight falls apart and Joseph Parker don't want to come off that 35% and down to at least 30 or 25%, which Matchroom and Joshua and Eddie Hearn offered them 20%, 80-20 split. He went up 15% and said, that's what I take at minimum. If you don't take that, then, according to the article, Eddie Hearn is going to match Dillian Whyte with Anthony Joshua for a rematch. A rematch that nobody care about, because Dillian Whyte has been looking like dog crap since, losing to Joshua. He don't look like the same fighter. He been gaining weight, looking fat and sloppy, looking just out of sync. Let me use that, out of sync. But nobody want to see that. But the point of the boxing promoter game is to get 2 guys in one division, or around the same division, that can make for a mega fight, so you can keep all the money in your pocket. That's the name of the game. Top Rank been making a living off of that for years. Oscar's trying to do it with David Lemieux if he beats Saunders and Canelo. It happens. But also I'm gonna link another article in the description. Anthony Joshua, even after all this came out, said that he would knock out Deontay Wilder with one punch. That he'd slap around Joseph Parker. Two guys that, it don't seem like he really want to fight according to Eddie Hearn. And how the negotiations and the reports of how the negotiations came out. You say what you gonna do, then make the fight. Then sometimes you gotta compromise to get the stuff that you want as well, even though you in a position of power. If you really want to knock out Deontay Wilder, you say you can put him out with one punch. I mean, make the fight happen. Try to come with a middle ground deal for him to make it sweet for him and do it. But at the end of the day, he out of character talking about what he gonna do and how he gonna do it. At the end of the day, you ain't gonna do nothing because you not gonna sign the fight. You ain't gonna sign the fight to one of these guys. At least Deontay Wilder look vulnerable, and he needs you. So you're not gonna make that fight happen. You can say all what you gonna do, but you said out your mouth it's gonna be at least 1 or 2 more years before you be ready. So you sounding like a little prancy reindeer anyway, and that's out your mouth. You say you slap around Joseph Parker. Well, give him 35% then and make it happen. If you want it to happen so bad. But he don't want these fights to happen so bad. He's in position of power. He wants to fight Dillian Whyte, guys that his promoter can control, lower level guys, and get this money because anybody over there is gonna come see him no matter who he fights. He gonna pack those stadium football arenas up no matter who he fight. So it ain't no rush on his career. There ain't no rush for him. He gonna take his time. He gonna make this money, and until the fans start turning on him, which will probably be a quarter past never. Then when that day, if it actually happens, then he'd come to the table with a fair deal for both of those guys. But I think they gonna fight Dillian Whyte. I don't think Joseph Parker gonna move off his 35% mark. And I don't think Eddie Hearn's gonna compromise, give him 35%. And Deontay Wilder fight ain't happening no time soon. Wilder, one of them guys gonna get beat before that fight happen, or look very, very vulnerable and barely win. And they gonna need each other, which probably gonna be on Deontay Wilder's side because Joshua ain't gonna be fighting nobody with a pulse. You dig? But let me know what y'all think. We gone.